The offer seemed almost too good to be true. Round-trip airfare to Los Angeles and an all-expenses-paid stay at one of the most luxurious spas in the country. But there was a catch. Piper Donavan had to make another wedding cake. Distracted from selecting her ensemble for the party she was going to that night, Piper pushed aside the dresses, skirts, and tops strewn all over her bed. She laid down on the soft comforter, crossed her long, thin legs, and scrolled her BlackBerry to where she could reread the Facebook message. Saw the cake you made for Glenna Brooks. Would love it if you would do one for my wedding on January 15th. We'll pay for your plane ticket, put you up for the week at Elysium, provide you with a car and driver, and, of course, pay for the cake. Let me know ASAP if you're interested. Jillian Abernathy. The name was vaguely familiar. Piper studied the photo that accompanied the message. An attractive young couple beamed from the screen. The woman was pretty and blonde, and she had a dazzling white smile. The handsome man with his arm around her had dark hair, and his teeth were even more blinding. Clicking on the picture led to Jillian Abernathy's Facebook profile. Her info page revealed that Jillian was engaged to Ben Dixon, MD, and that she worked as the director of the Elysium Spa. Piper wondered where Jillian had first seen the three-tiered star-festooned cake she designed for soap opera star Glenna Brooks. There were photos of it all over the internet, and it was featured in the current issues of People, Soap Opera Weekly, and the National Enquirer, along with other pictures from the wedding and accompanying text explaining the disasters that had befallen co-workers of the bride and groom in the weeks leading up to the ceremony. Piper had posted pictures of her creation on her own Facebook fan page, and the response had been overwhelming. She was proud of her first wedding cake and stunned by the attention it had been receiving since the Christmas Eve nuptials. She hadn't expected to be making another so quickly, or all by herself. She'd had her mother as a safety net while she worked on Glenna's cake. Piper was dying to tell her mother, but Terry Donavan was still at the bakery and wouldn't be home for a few hours. Piper stared at the freshly painted, cloyingly pink walls of her room in her parents' house and considered the offer. She'd been living home again for just a month, yet the idea of getting away for a while was appealing. She loved her parents, she did, but there was something wrong about being 27 years old and having to answer to them. Piper knew that Terry and Vin Donavan were making a concerted effort not to smother her, but they were failing miserably. It was inevitable. Piper was their only daughter, their baby, and they still found every move fascinating. They paid attention to everything she did, or at least everything they knew she did. "Hey, Emmett! Drop that! Drop that right now!" Piper yelled, jumping up from the bed and lunging for the Jack Russell Terrier. The little dog had the toe of one of Piper's high-heeled pumps grasped firmly in his mouth. He looked at her, dropped the shoe, and ran from the room. She picked up the black pump and inspected it. There were tooth marks in the leather, but there was no actual tearing. Maybe her father could figure out a way to smooth away the indentations. He could fix pretty much anything. Piper thought more about accepting the job. Even though she'd have to design and make the wedding cake, she would still have some free time. Maybe her agent Gabe Leonard could get her an audition or two while she was out there. Weather-wise, Southern California was decidedly better than New Jersey in January. And the idea of some free beauty treatments was definitely alluring. Who wouldn't want to spend a week at Elysium? Piper had read about the oasis perched in the Hollywood Hills. She even knew a few people who had checked in there for some high-priced pampering. She listened as seldom impressed New Yorkers used adjectives like divine and heaven to describe it. Apparently, the staff went through Swiss Guard-like training to learn how to cater to each client's well-being. Going online, Piper read more. Besides the usual massages, facials, body wraps, yoga, Pilates, meditation sessions, saunas, and hot tub soaks, Elysium offered individualized consultations with dietitians, along with organic vegetarian and vegan dining. It also boasted personal touches, like spritzing clients with Evian as they lounged by an infinity pool that offered an aerial view of Los Angeles.